There are stories carved into the fabric of the universe that no scripture ever recorded, moments whispered into existence long before any human language evolved to describe them. And one of those moments happened decades before your first breath, when the sky itself shifted, stretched, and reconfigured its ancient architecture to form the shape of a name no one on Earth had spoken yet: yours. The alignment didn't appear as a star chart for astronomers or a pattern for scientists to decode. It appeared as a pulse in the heavens, a shimmer across constellations, a rearrangement so subtle it evaded human recognition but so powerful that every spiritual gatekeeper across realms felt the tremor. It wasn't a metaphor. It wasn't imagination. It was an event, a cosmic signature. Before you existed in any physical form, before your parents ever crossed paths, before your soul descended into the dense gravity of this world, something above the atmosphere moved to make room for you. The celestial grid, the invisible web that holds light, time, gravity, and consciousness together, bent for your arrival. Stars shifted their positions by fractions so small that telescopes never recorded them, yet those micro-movements were enough to break a cycle that had been repeating for ages. A cycle that needed to end. And you were the one chosen to end it. Every soul is born out of timing, but you were born out of alignment. The universe does not distort itself for just anyone. It only does so for beings who hold frequencies that cannot fit into the existing order. You were never meant to arrive quietly. You were never designed to blend into the noise of humanity. Even before the world saw you, the sky itself announced that something extraordinary was approaching. In the realm of higher consciousness, the dimension your soul originated from, the alignment was not simply a light show. It was a declaration, a celestial oath, a message sent across timelines. A being is coming who will not just live on Earth, but shift it. That is why your birth was preceded by strange signs, events you've heard stories about without realizing they were connected to you. Sudden weather changes, anomalous energy spikes, people around your parents having vivid dreams, animals acting strangely, a sense of pressure in the air, like the world was inhaling and holding its breath. Because it was. When a being of your frequency enters a dense realm like Earth, the atmosphere reacts. Clouds fracture. Wind patterns alter. Energies ripple. People nearby feel something they cannot describe. Some feel fear, others feel awe, and a rare few feel recognition, like they unconsciously sense the arrival of someone who does not match the normal human blueprint. Your name in the sky was not written in letters. It was written in geometry, cosmic geometry. A shape, a pattern, a harmonic that matched the frequency of your soul. Names are more than sounds, they are signatures. And the signature of your existence was etched into the heavens long before you ever took form. This is why certain people feel pulled to you without knowing why strangers tell you that you seem familiar, why places feel like déjà vu, why you sense meanings beneath events others ignore. Your soul arrived here with a resonance that Earth recognized before any human did. There's a reason you've always felt like your life didn't start from zero, because it didn't. It started from alignment. A cosmic alignment that announced, prepare. Something ancient is returning in a new form. And that something is you, an echo of a frequency older than the world itself. The sky didn't form your name because you needed validation. The sky formed your name because reality needed warning. You weren't born into destiny. You descended into a world that was already expecting you. Long before anyone knew you existed, long before your mother felt the first quickening, long before a doctor ever confirmed a heartbeat, something crossed the threshold between worlds, you. Not your body, not your name, not your future identity, but the raw essence of who you truly are. And the moment your soul descended toward Earth, the sky reacted the way ancient structures react to the return of a long-lost king. It trembled. People that night felt an uneasiness they couldn't explain, as if gravity shifted slightly or time dragged for a breath too long. Birds changed direction mid-flight. Dogs began barking at empty corners. The wind paused for just a moment. These weren't coincidences. They were symptoms of your arrival. When souls incarnate, the universe responds. But when your soul incarnated, the response wasn't subtle, it was cosmic. Because you didn't enter quietly. You entered with a frequency that hasn't been present on Earth for centuries, possibly millennia. The sky alignment that formed the shape of your cosmic identity wasn't a one-time event. It was the first signal of many. It was the opening ceremony for your destiny. That night, constellations held their breath. Celestial currents shifted course. A ripple moved across the upper atmosphere. A vibration the human eye cannot see but the human spirit can feel. And certain individuals, scattered across the world, woke up from sleep with the same phrase echoing through their chest. Something has arrived. They weren't wrong. They sensed you. You've always wondered why you felt older than your age, why you carried wisdom that didn't match your experiences, why you navigated emotions, people, and danger with instincts that seemed impossible to teach. It's because you didn't come here empty. You came here carrying memory. Memory without language, memory without form, memory encoded as vibration. Your soul brought knowledge, not information. Information is learned. Knowledge is remembered. And even though your human mind didn't recognize it yet, your energy field did. That field has been interacting with the world since the day you entered it. This is why certain people have always been drawn to you in ways they couldn't articulate. Not romantically, not socially, energetically. They felt the same magnetism the sky expressed on the night of your descent. It's also why others felt intimidated by you before you even spoke. They didn't sense danger, they sensed depth. You walked through childhood like someone who didn't fully belong there, not because you were outcast or strange, but because your soul was already operating at a frequency children aren't supposed to understand. The celestial alignment that formed your name did more than announce your arrival, it reshaped your path. Doors that were never meant for you refused to open. Opportunities that would have derailed your purpose dissolved on their own. People who didn't belong in your destiny fell away, sometimes painfully, sometimes abruptly, sometimes without explanation. The alignment wasn't just a cosmic prophecy, it was a cosmic filter. It protected you from living a life beneath the magnitude of what you came here to do. You've always felt like your life zigzagged, like nothing was linear, like you couldn't build a predictable path. That's because predictable paths belong to predictable souls. And you are not predictable. You didn't incarnate to repeat cycles, you incarnated to break them. You didn't arrive to fit into a system, you arrived to bend it. You didn't come here to follow the rules, you came to rewrite the blueprint. The night sky knew this. That's why it shifted for you. And whether you realize it or not, the same sky is still watching you, waiting for you to remember who you were before you had a name, before you had a face, before you had a body. The alignment didn't predict your destiny, it honored it. You are not someone the universe allowed to be born. You are someone the universe prepared to receive. You weren't just expected. You were anticipated. When the sky formed the pattern of your name, it did more than signal your arrival. It embedded a signature into your being, a kind of celestial imprint that you've been carrying your entire life. This imprint behaves like a resonance field, influencing environments, revealing hidden truths, and altering the emotional temperature of any space you enter. You think you're simply sensitive, perceptive, or old-souled, but what you actually are is a living extension of that original alignment. The universe didn't just announce you, it marked you. And everyone who meets you feels that mark whether they can explain it or not. This is why some people feel strangely exposed around you. It isn't because you judge them, it's because your frequency forces their spirit to become honest. You don't speak truth, you radiate it. And truth is uncomfortable for those who have spent years hiding from themselves. On the other hand, people who are aligned with growth, healing, or awakening feel immediate comfort in your presence, as if something inside them recognizes the geometry in your energy. That recognition isn't emotional. It's cosmic, an echo of the night your name formed across the sky. Your imprint also explains why certain environments collapse the moment you're about to leave them. Jobs begin to feel suffocating. Friendships you've outgrown suddenly dissolve. Relationships without depth fall apart without warning. These endings aren't failures, they're recalibrations. Your path doesn't tolerate stagnation because your purpose cannot bloom in smallness. The alignment that announced you demands expansion. It demands evolution. It demands movement. If you ever stay somewhere too long, life itself begins ejecting you, not to punish you, but to return you to your frequency. Even technology behaves strangely around you. Lights flicker when your emotions surge. Electronics glitch when your intuition spikes. Devices freeze during moments of spiritual clarity. This isn't superstition, it's physics. High-frequency beings disrupt low-frequency systems. Your body carries a voltage that standard human environments weren't designed to interpret. You've always been the anomaly, and anomalies distort the grid. Animals notice it too. They either approach with unexplainable calm or avoid you with instinctive awe. Children stare at you longer than socially normal because they see the light adults have forgotten how to perceive. Even strangers sometimes pause, look at you, and feel something they can't articulate. They're not reacting to your appearance, they're reacting to your origin. What's even more extraordinary is that your name, the one the sky formed before you were born, has always been a frequency pattern, not a label. Your earthly name is just a translation. The real name, encoded into your soul, is a soundless sequence of energy, a vibrational identity recognized by realms beyond this world. When people mispronounce you, underestimate you, or fail to see your worth, it doesn't matter. Their understanding of you is irrelevant to your cosmic role. You were validated by the universe long before humans attempted to define you. This is why you have always walked a path that feels both guided and stripped. Doors open just in time, and others slam shut without mercy. You survive things others crumble under. You rise from situations no one else escaped. You know things without knowing how. You feel truths before they are spoken. You sense people's intentions before they reveal themselves. These aren't coincidences. They're consequences of your signature. The alignment gave you more than destiny. It gave you clarity. But clarity is not always comfortable. It isolates. It intensifies. It elevates you beyond the reach of ordinary experience. You weren't built to blend in. You were shaped to bend reality. Every shift in your life, from relationships to identity to purpose, is the unfolding of a prophecy written in the stars before you were ever seen by human eyes. And whether you feel ready or not, a new phase of that prophecy is beginning. The same sky that formed your name has started to move again. The atmosphere is changing. Timelines are rearranging. Synchronicities are clustering. The world feels different to you because you are different in it. And soon, the world will feel the difference. Long before your parents existed, long before nations formed, long before humanity even understood constellations, there was a prophecy circulating through the quieter layers of the universe. A prophecy spoken not in words but in patterns, vibrations, alignments. It foretold the arrival of a soul whose descent would disrupt stagnation, correct timelines, and recalibrate the emotional consciousness of an entire era. That soul was not meant to appear during times of peace or stillness but in a century marked by global confusion, spiritual drought, and collective numbness. It required a world where truth was diluted, where people were disconnected from themselves, where searching had become a forgotten instinct. Only then would your presence have maximum impact. This is why you were not born earlier. The world was not ready for your kind. Earlier centuries would have worshipped you or feared you. Later centuries would have overanalyzed you. But this century, this fragile, transitional, electrically unstable epoch, needed you. Not as a leader, not as a savior, but as a frequency carrier capable of shifting the emotional climate simply by existing. That is the essence of the prophecy. A being whose presence, not their effort, begins to untangle what generations before you twisted. When the sky formed the shape of your cosmic name, that alignment wasn't predicting your birth. It was announcing a correction. The timing of your arrival was synchronized with a moment when humanity began drowning in distraction, losing connection to intuition, and forgetting how to hear their own soul. This planet was falling out of resonance with itself, and the prophecy required a returning frequency, a soul who had lived here before, or in realms adjacent to Earth's evolution cycle, someone who carried memory strong enough to generate awakening in others. That someone was you. You felt the weight of this prophecy without knowing its name. The pressure you carried didn't come from trauma or expectation, it came from resonance. You walk into rooms and feel responsibilities no one assigned you. You sense truths no one taught you. You perceive moments before they unfold. You hold emotional intelligence that feels disproportionate to your age. None of this is accidental, it is inherited. The prophecy imprinted these abilities into your soul long before your incarnation. This is why you've always been different in a way people couldn't articulate. They sense something ancient in you, something compassionate yet untouchable, something gentle yet unbreakable. People have confided in you their deepest wounds without understanding why. They've projected their fears onto you because you reflect their unhealed parts. They've tried to dim you because your presence exposes their shadows. You are not triggering them, your frequency is. You are the mirror that reawakens them. But the prophecy goes deeper than influence. It predicts transformation, not of the world, but of you. Your life was never meant to be straightforward. You weren't meant to grow normally. Everything that has collapsed in your path, every identity you've had to shed, every abrupt ending, every betrayal that forced you to rebuild from zero, they were all parts of your awakening schedule. The prophecy demanded that you learn self-mastery before the world learned your name. Your struggles weren't punishments, they were refinements. Your losses weren't voids, they were recalibrations. Your isolation wasn't abandonment, it was alignment. And here is the most important part. The prophecy states that the being whose name appears in the sky before birth will begin awakening when the world reaches a specific vibrational threshold, a threshold marked by chaos, rapid transformation, and collective emotional cracking. Look around. The signs are everywhere. People are searching again. Structures are collapsing. Illusions are being exposed. Humanity is shaking awake, and this global awakening resonates perfectly with your internal awakening. The prophecy isn't about you saving anyone. It's about you returning people to themselves. You are not here to lead armies or build empires. You are here to emit clarity in an era built on confusion. You are here to restore intuition where logic has failed. You are here to remind humanity of something it forgot long ago. The sky doesn't make mistakes, only predictions, and you are one of them. The night the cosmos rearranged itself to form the shape of your name was not a celebration, it was a selection. In the higher architectures of existence, alignments are not decorative. They are decisions. The universe does not shift for convenience. It shifts for necessity. And the necessity was you. A soul carrying a frequency powerful enough to pierce through a century drowning in noise, apathy, self-doubt, and spiritual amnesia. You were not chosen because you were perfect. You were chosen because your essence could withstand the weight of a world that had begun forgetting itself. You carry an energy that predates your body, your family, your culture, even the concept of linear time you were born into. That energy is impossible to suppress, though many have tried. It is impossible to mimic, though many have envied it. It is impossible to corrupt, though life has repeatedly tested its purity. Your energy is not emotional, intellectual, or psychological, it is structural. It radiates through everything you touch, everything you speak, everything you walk away from. People don't react to your personality, they react to your frequency. It disrupts illusions, exposes hidden motives, amplifies truths, and stabilizes chaos. This is why environments shift when you enter them. Conversations deepen, pretenses fall apart, hidden tensions rise to the surface. People become honest against their own will. You've seen it happen countless times without understanding why. It wasn't your words. It wasn't your behavior. It was the energy you carry, the same energy the sky recognized before you were born. When the universe formed your name across constellations, it wasn't forecasting your personality. It was marking your essence as a balancing force for an era spinning out of alignment. The sky chose you because you can absorb what others cannot. You have endured emotional storms that would have broken different souls. You have carried burdens without collapsing. You have walked through darkness without becoming dark. You have healed from wounds people assumed would define you. Every experience you thought was designed to destroy you was actually designed to activate another layer of your frequency. Pain turned you into someone with depth. Betrayal turned you into someone with discernment. Loss turned you into someone with spiritual gravity. You don't just survive, your survival upgrades you. There is a reason your spirit matured faster than your body. A reason you saw through people at an age when others saw only surfaces. A reason your empathy was overwhelming, your intuition inexplicable, your inner knowing sharp enough to cut through lies adults swore were truth. You weren't growing up, you were remembering. You weren't different, you were calibrated differently. The sky aligned for you because your frequency wasn't meant to sit quietly in the background of humanity. It was meant to intervene. The universe does not send ordinary souls to extraordinary eras. It sends anchors. It sends stabilizers. It sends disruptors. It sends catalysts. It sends beings who carry the memory of higher realms without conscious awareness of how they remember. Beings like you. And although you have spent years questioning why you feel too much, too aware, too intense, or too sensitive, the truth is that sensitivity isn't a flaw, it's your instrument. Sensitivity is how your frequency reads the world. Intensity is how your soul interacts with density. Awareness is how you navigate reality at a depth most people will never reach. You weren't made to fit into human limitations. You were made to feel beyond them. This age needed someone who could walk between what is seen and what is unseen. Someone who could understand human pain without being consumed by it. Someone who could love deeply without losing themselves. Someone who could observe madness without adopting it. Someone who could hold clarity in a generation built on confusion. You are that someone. You carry an energy that was never meant to be explained, it was meant to be recognized. And whether people accept it or resist it, they feel it. Every single time. You weren't chosen to rise above the world. You were chosen to realign it. Not through force, not through preaching, not through perfection, but through presence. You are the reminder humanity forgot it needed. Your birth was not merely the beginning of a human life. It was the moment the universe repositioned itself. There are events that shift the trajectory of nations, events that redirect the course of history, and events that alter the physical structure of reality itself. Your arrival was one of those events. Not because of fanfare, not because of prophecy written in ancient books, but because the alignment that formed the shape of your name had been building pressure in the heavens for decades. When your soul finally anchored into a physical body, that pressure released in a shock wave so subtle the world missed it, yet so powerful the fabric of destiny bent around you. This is why the years following your birth felt strange, not just for you but for everyone around you. Systems that had been steady for generations began to crack. Old patterns in your family line suddenly broke. Hidden tensions surfaced. Truths long buried came up on their own. Your presence didn't cause chaos, it exposed it. Your existence pulled shadows out of hiding because your frequency makes dishonesty impossible to maintain. People often misunderstand this aspect of your energy. They think you attract trouble or always find drama, but in reality, you reveal misalignment. You don't create storms, you dispel disguises. The sky marked your birth as a turning point because your timeline was meant to intersect with one of the most unstable eras humanity has ever known. You carry an internal compass that points toward what is real, even when the world is drowning in illusions. This internal compass is not instinct. It is programming. Cosmic programming. Your soul came equipped with an orientation toward truth so strong that you cannot tolerate environments built on lies, manipulation, or false harmony. The moment you step into those spaces, the cracks begin to show. Not because you judge them, but because your energy removes the fog they rely on. This is why your childhood felt heavier than others. You saw things people pretended not to see. You felt emotions adults didn't have the maturity to name. You sensed betrayals before they happened, sensed endings before they arrived, sensed danger before it manifested. You weren't paranoid, you were attuned. When the sky forms a name through alignment, it infuses that soul with heightened sensory intelligence, the ability to read energies long before they become physical events. To others, this feels supernatural. To you, it feels normal. But the sky's marking of your birth did something more profound than giving you sensitivity. It sealed your timeline. Some people drift through life, tossed by randomness, blown by circumstance. You never had that luxury. Every deviation in your path was corrected. Every wrong connection was removed. Every distraction was dismantled. Every closed door was protection, not punishment. The alignment forged a path that would not allow you to lose yourself, even when you desperately wanted to. This is why your life has been full of jarring shifts, breakdowns that became breakthroughs, endings that became transformations. Your path is narrow because your purpose is precise. The universe also shielded you in ways you still don't fully understand. There were dangers you never saw, people you never met, opportunities you never encountered because they were never meant for you. There were moments where you should have fallen apart but didn't, moments where you should have lost hope but rose instead, moments where you should have collapsed under the weight of your emotions but found clarity in the chaos. These weren't coincidences, they were interventions. The alignment that formed your name didn't dissolve when you were born, it became your protection grid. Even now, you feel the pull of that original celestial pattern. You feel restless when you're not aligned. You feel heaviness when you're denying your inner voice. You feel drained when you're around people whose energy contradicts your purpose. You feel physically uncomfortable in places where you are not meant to stay. That discomfort isn't rejection, it's direction. The sky marked you for mobility, evolution, awakening, not stagnation. Your birth was the universe's way of saying, enough. A new frequency has arrived. And everything in your life since then has been preparing you to realize the magnitude of that truth. You are not experiencing random shifts, you are stepping into the timeline that was waiting for you since the moment the sky wrote your name. The same sky that once formed the pattern of your name has never stopped communicating with you. You may think signs come to you randomly, angel numbers, dreams that feel too real to ignore, sudden chills, déjà vu that feels like a message rather than a glitch, but nothing about these experiences is accidental. You were born with an open channel, a direct line between your consciousness and the celestial architecture that announced your coming into this world. Most people have to learn how to listen. You were born already hearing. And the reason the signs have become louder, more frequent, more precise in recent years is simple. Your season of awakening is no longer approaching, it has begun. Heaven does not speak through sentences. It speaks through synchronicity. It speaks through timing. It speaks through the way certain people enter your life exactly when your intuition whispers, "Pay attention." It speaks through the sudden urge to leave a place or release a connection without knowing why. It speaks through dreams that aren't dreams at all. They're transmissions from realms your soul still remembers. You've always received these messages, but in the past you dismissed them as coincidence, imagination, or emotion. Now they come through sharper because your consciousness has reached the level required to understand them. You've noticed the pattern. The more you align with your inner truth, the more the signs accelerate. When you make a decision that honors who you really are, the universe responds instantly. Numbers appear, opportunities open, your energy expands. But when you go against yourself, when you ignore your intuition or remain in spaces you've outgrown, the signs turn into warnings. You feel heaviness, discomfort, misalignment. The universe does not punish you, it redirects you. Your path is too important to allow self-betrayal to go unchecked. This increase in signs is not a spiritual trend, it is a transition. For years, the universe whispered. Then it nudged. Now it pushes. Because your presence on Earth is entering its active phase. The sky is no longer announcing you, it's guiding you. The signs you receive now are not general messages. They are coordinate. They're telling you where not to go, what not to touch, who not to trust, because your energy is too valuable to be wasted, drained, or misdirected. People often assume divine communication comes with drama or spectacle, but for someone like you, it comes through resonance. You feel the truth before it's spoken. You sense intentions before they're revealed. You can stand beside someone and instantly know whether they should be part of your life or removed from it. This is not intuition, it is an inheritance. The sky alignment encoded this sensitivity into your soul, because your purpose requires clarity, not confusion. That's why your spirit reacts so strongly to dishonesty. Why lies feel like poison in the air. Why manipulation makes your stomach tighten. Why environments built on false harmony make your chest heavy. You cannot thrive in places where truth is compromised, because the heavens marked you as a carrier of truth, not to preach it, not to force it, but to embody it. The intensifying signs are also a signal that your old identity is dissolving. The version of you built from survival, fear, people-pleasing, or silence is ending. You may feel nostalgic, restless, or strangely emotional, but that's because you are shedding a self that cannot follow you into the next phase. The universe is not taking things away from you. It is removing what cannot hold the weight of your destiny. Everything is accelerating because your timeline is aligning. The sky is not giving you hints anymore, it's giving you instructions. The signs are not suggestions, they are confirmations. Heaven doesn't send this level of communication to everyone, only to those whose lives are meant to influence the collective vibration of their era. Only to those who were born marked. Only to those whose names were written before their bodies were formed. Only to those whose presence is part of a larger architecture of transformation. You are one of them. That is why you hear what others ignore. That is why you see what others cannot. That is why the signs follow you, intensify around you, and shape themselves to your awareness.